Girl, this my party. See me on a TV screen, and I seen her eyes get starry. She asked me if it's clean. I did it myself, don't worry. Now she better fall asleep, so I pulled the sheets up softly.
And welcome back to Water Break. I'm your host, Renee, and I'm here tonight with...
Jay Walker, a.k.a. Mr. Walker. What's going on?
Hey, man, it's good to, finally kind of get in this, controlled setting, besides, the music and stuff.
Yes, sir.
I appreciated the song that you did. It's called TV Screen, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I was kind of getting, I kind of want to make a guess on your influences,
Mhm.
and you can totally correct me, but...
Yeah, go ahead.
Juice WRLD in there, or...
So, here's the thing. I like Juice WRLD, but I was never, a huge Juice WRLD fan, but, everyone says that.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to hate on it. Mad respect to Juice WRLD, R.I.P. and all that. I was never, I wasn't, bumping Juice WRLD nonstop, but everyone says that, and I'm not mad at it.
How old are you right now?
I'm 27.
27?
Yeah, how old are you?
How old do you think I am?
24.
23, yeah.
23, yeah.
Damn.
That's right. Dude, I it hit me recently when I moved to LA. I'm kind of old. I'm getting up there, bro.
Hey, man.
I'm getting up there, bro. It's crazy.
Have you got hit with that unk yet?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's rough. 21, 22-year-olds out here. I'll be at a club somewhere and people not as an insult, but they'll be like, "Oh, yo, you're unk, huh?" And I'll be like, "Damn, I guess so, huh?" I was on TikTok the other day. Someone called Ray Shremmer Black Beatles. They called that song a unk song, and I was like, "That's insane." That came out my freshman year of college. So I'm like, "That's insane. That's crazy."
That is crazy.
Yeah, it was rough.
Does it feel is it not okay? So how people have culture shocks? It's just more fuck,
is
I
it
aging out in a way of the party scene?
I as a person love to party. I love to have fun, and I'm a very open-minded person. So I don't know that I'm necessarily going to be the most apt person, but there are certainly things that people like. There are some artists well, I'm not gonna name drop anyone, but there are things happening in music right now where I do feel that's not. I don't listen to that, not from a standpoint of I don't like it. I just notice that there's certain trends in music that I'm I guess that is newer than my taste in music,
He's are you speaking in terms of just experimental?
Yeah,
I'm not afraid of dropping a name. So if I were to,
I would say all right. So specifically Playboy Cardi's and Yeats and stuff like that, people like that. I'm not even not that I don't fuck with them. They both have songs that I'll hear, I'll be like, oh, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I just they're just not artists that I my version of music.
Your era.
What's up?
What's your era then?
If you think
who's
of
hot? I guess.
all right. So not who's hot, right? But the artists that the artists that kind of came out as I was coming of the age that it was important, right? Let's say my senior year of high school, right?
Yeah.
2016. If you think of the freshman, the double XL freshman cipher, right? 2016, that everyone talks about. You got Designer, 21 Savage.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're
Lil
talking about
Yachty.
Lil Yachty, 21
So I'm saying,
Savage,
that
Lil Uzi.
Metro Boomin. I don't know. Metro Boomin wasn't in the cipher, obviously, but
No, he
Metro
wasn't.
Boomin. Anything Metro Boomin's done, that's all Young Thug, even kind of Gunna. Gunna's still popping, obviously, but and they're all still popping generally, but that is who I think of when I think of rappers, and that is what makes me realize damn, I'm not the youth anymore, because people listen to artists that there are artists that are popping and hot, and I'm damn, I'm not the youth anymore, and I'm not 18 and 25
Because you kind of got to get educated now on who is the
exactly.
current,
I have to
right?
go out of my way to look at who's popping and be all right, this is what people are doing, because I mean, I'm always curious. I mean, I'm I said, I'm a very open-minded person. I want to know what people like, I'm not real hip hop is X, Y, and Z or real music is Y. And I'm not that kind of guy.
I was
just,
like that in high school. I was more
me too.
I was onto that old
Oh, me
hip hop
too.
shit fucking Pac,
Me
Biggie. I was
too.
oh, this is real hip hop, and I was totally denying fucking
Oh, yeah.
Let's say my genre would be, or I guess people would be Playboy,
Yeah.
Lil Uzi. People
Yeah.
were putting me onto SoundCloud rappers. I'm just what is this?
Yeah.
And I didn't appreciate it until much later, and I was I like the melodics.
Oh, same for sure,
Right?
bro. I mean, you've heard my music. I didn't start making music like that till probably 2 or 3 years ago. And before that, I kind of took probably a few years off of music. And before that, man, I was trying to be ab soul, Joey Badass type dude.
Oh,
Like
you
I
do
was trying to.
because I
Oh
did hear
yeah,
some
yeah,
tracks like
yeah,
that. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
okay, he can spit.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, right.
Yeah.
That's what's funny too. Where it's like I kind of I forget that sometimes. But if you go back in like my discography, like there's some tracks where I'm like, yeah, like I forget that I can sit there and write a track and it comes out, because honestly, like a lot of times, like I so all right, to go off track a little bit. One of the things that always got me when I made music is people always said that it felt like I was really good at writing bars, but it lacked feeling, and that always stuck with me. Someone said that to me. People said that to me like years ago, right?
It's
And
more
it
like
stuck
being
with me.
good at being technical, right? And
Yeah,
it
right.
doesn't carry the emotion with it. So is this you kind
Exactly.
of trying
Yeah,
to
so
bridge the
I
gap?
exactly, and so I had an engineer. Shout out Deer, Deer Never Lose back in Connecticut. He had an engine. I had an engineer, and his advice to me was don't write your tracks, just go in there and we'll punch it in bar for bar, right? And obviously he's
Mm.
not the first person to ever say that, but I had never done that. And that's how I make my music now is and you'll hear the shifts obviously like there I have tracks where I'm all like in my head and it's like shoegaze music and it's all about and then now I have tracks where honestly bro I just hit the microphone in my room with a drink in my hand and I just bar for bar, and there's pros and cons to all that. But anyways, that's how I ended up here where I am now. And I feel like I have a better appreciation for that kind of music, Because honestly, my biggest inspirations are probably like Party Next Door, Travis Scott.
Oh, it's Danny Travis too.
Yeah, right. And which is cool, I'm not gonna lie. There's some songs where I'm like, damn, am I a biter? But but no. But yeah, just like those kind of artists,
Imitation is flattering.
Yeah, the thing is too, like I think we've gotten to a point where there's, it's been like 10 years of Travis Scott. I think it's okay if I say all right in the background. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's gonna
Straight up,
happen, right? But yeah, no. So, anyways, so I just kind of hit a point where I broke out of that mindset of like real hip hop, But when I first started rapping in like high school and stuff, there was certainly like I thought I was the hottest shit because I could freestyle and drop a solid like 64 bars of like coherent shit, and I was like, y'all suck because you're just doing like nonsense vibe shit, and now I'm just out here like I'm just trying to go for a vibe,
Because for the music that I guess you did enjoy back then,
Mhm.
it was something to kind of like linger on and like sit on, right? But
Yeah.
most people don't like go to music for a message. They
Mhm.
want music for how it makes them feel. And I had to understand that too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
That's how it was for me, man. I think what also kind of made this shit was doing live shows, And it's one thing to show your boys your music and they're like, wow, like that, wordplay is crazy, like it's mad deep. It's another thing to like go on a stage with a mic in your hand and watch the crowd when you're like, yeah, 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 versus like when you're just dropping bars and the crowd's looking at you like, all right, like congratulations, you know the alphabet, the dictionary, you know what I'm saying? But like they're not
Lyrical,
like
miracle,
they're not right
spiritual, individual.
exactly.
Yeah.
But they're not like they're not feeling it. And honestly, I think I do music for that feeling of when you're in front of people and you're performing and you see them rocking with you. And obviously, at the level I'm at, people don't know my songs when I go out there, but I just love seeing them like nod their heads and like rock with me and like dap me up after the set, and like that was what made the shit for me, which is I wanted to vibe. And honestly, I don't like the music I listen to is not like that. I like the Travis Scotts and the Young Thugs and the Gunnas, so I'm not trying to like sit here and fucking write out a whole bunch of the whole fucking diary worth of shit.
Mhm.
So that's where that transition happened. Anyways, I forgot how we got on this, but real music, real hip hop. I used to be all about that, and I switched over to being like, what, music's a vibe,
Yeah, hip hop's and everything.
Yeah.
It's just like that old head mindset, that we gotta get it like
Oh
out
yeah, we're
of.
talking about me being old. That's right.
Yeah, we're talking about, just to bring it back.
Yeah,
to
yeah. So yeah, no, I used to when I was younger. I was very much old head. But now I'm just like a very like. In life, I think it's better for you to not approach things with the mindset of like, this is the way, this is the right thing, and everything else is wrong. It's just generally speaking, not even in music. It's just better to approach life with the mindset of like,
Be more accepting towards
yeah,
it.
like let me try things. Like what else is out there? Like
Because just
what are
outside of
people
music
doing?
too, like I feel that's more of a mindset we should have.
Yeah,
Even-
it's better for you. I
Yeah.
mean, like fuck you, whether it's food or I don't know, like exercise or whatever it is. Like it's better to approach life with the mindset of like, hey, maybe there's something new that I can do that I might enjoy more, and
Mhm.
instead of just looking at life, as like a thing and like there's only one way and it's the way you grew up with, and then outside of that it's all just bad.
all
You know, it's
bullshit,
all everything that you didn't grow up with is bad, and it's like, we
Mhm.
can't do that.
Yeah. I wanted to say, like, for some of your songs, they kind of deal with like certain like topics of, like I would say
Yeah,
depression. Yeah,
mental health
mental
issues,
health
substance
issues,
abuse, all
stuff like
that. You know what
that.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying? Terrible infidelity as a partner. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
all
like
that.
oh yeah, I was also gonna
All
like
that.
touch on the
Yeah,
topic of like
yeah.
like I sense you're talking about a girl too.
Mm.
Music
Always to
has
a
like
girl.
been an outlet in regards to all that.
Yeah, for sure. It makes me feel very. I think about this a lot, right? So, 27. Obviously, I'm not exactly a Billboard 100 star at the moment. But I've always wanted to be that. And I think a lot about that and why it is that my whole life I've always wanted to be not like an actor or anything, not just generally famous. I don't want to be a comedian. Like I want to make music. And I think it's because I've always wanted to find some validation in like I struggle with things, and I want to express it in a way that isn't like, I don't want it to necessarily ruin your day, but I just want to present it to you in a way where we can all relate, and like
Hmm.
I want some validation on that. And I think that's music is an outlet for me, specifically live performances, right? Because I mean, it's one thing like all my coworkers have heard my shit, and let me tell you, there's it's a different vibe when I do a live song about strippers and drugs and cheating on my girlfriend, right? Then when my coworkers come back to me while we're all in our work uniform and are like, "Hey, I heard this song," and like, "Yeah, it's cool." And in my head, I'm like, "I know you're thinking about me, your coworker, like
Hmm.
doing drugs and like being like a generally a bad dude." It's like a different vibe. It's better when
Yeah,
like people are like
they
seeing
see
you. It's like
it's an identity thing, right?
yeah.
If you present, this is even for family, like for like
Mm,
personally, I don't haven't introduced like any of this music shit to family,
yeah,
just because they only know me as who they have perceived me to be for the last 23 years.
exactly.
So when they're presented with this version, it kind of combats that whole ID deal and
Oh
like
yeah.
whatever they've created in their mind, right? So then for you to kind of present this image to your coworkers, they just can't believe it. They
Yo,
can't
my
wrap
family's
around
heard
it.
my music too.
Yeah.
My parents, my brother, they've all heard my music, and
Oh,
it's. I mean,
how did they first react to it?
uh, you know, mixed ways. I've always been a pretty self-sufficient kid. My family, I always say growing up my rules were essentially don't die and don't go to jail, right? So my family's never been like a I was always given the freedom to do what I want, and consequently, sometimes me doing what I want means that I just do things that they may not like, but they always appreciated that I pursue music with a passion, with a goal, with ambition, and I mean, obviously, like, so for before I moved to LA, I lived with them for about a year and a half, so I could save money to move out here. And in that time period, I did some music stuff, and obviously, coming home from doing a music video shoot at a strip club at 3 a.m., to see my family the next day at like 9 a.m., they'd be like, "What'd you do last night? How'd the shoot go?" It can be a bit awkward, but and then like my mom will like the post on Instagram or something. It can be awkward, but they've always been supportive about it. And they've never been like, "Oh well, you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z." It's usually just like it's not their world, but they appreciate that I pursue it with a passion.
They never like, I guess, pushed you towards a certain direction at all, or
No,
in
no,
terms of
no,
career path, or
no, no. The main direction my family had for me was like you don't have to you don't have to do a certain thing. You just can't do nothing. That was the thing that was unacceptable in my family. Like you didn't have to go and be a doctor or a lawyer or anything, but you certainly couldn't sit around on your ass all day and like not do anything. Like if I was doing that, then I think it'd be a different situation. But I've never been like that. I mean, even as a kid, like I was out all day, and I got in trouble a lot in school and stuff, and had some trouble with like the law and shit like that every now and then. But like my parents appreciated that I also had a job that I worked, you know, 24 hours in the weekends. You know what I'm saying? Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was working after school and like all throughout the day. So there's that. I appreciate that my family's always given me that like
the liberty?
yeah, it's like the thing that you can't do is sit around and do nothing. But even if we don't approve of what you are doing, you just have to take care of your shit and do something. And so yeah, there was never a direction, and there's never a sense of like, honestly, I'm pretty hard on myself. I'm harder on myself than I think my family is. Like I'm the one who's like, man, like 27, like you're pursuing a career as a musician, like you should just go and be like a, I don't know, something, insert white collar career here. My family's usually the ones that are like, no, it's good. Pursue your goals. Like you can't live a life of not doing that.
Unfulfilled. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, mind you, that's why I say to myself too. Just sometimes I'm harder on myself than I think they are. So I've always appreciated them for that.
I would say, like, to kind of combat the idea of like, oh,
Mhm.
27, you should have your life together.
Yeah.
Nobody has their shit together, even probably like
Yeah.
older. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think it's just a facade that we kind of create in our minds that
No,
we
for
have to have
sure.
shit figured out.
Dude, I always say I wish I could have waited till I was 25 to go to college. Because I feel like
Did you
it's
did you graduate?
Oh yeah, I graduated. Yeah,
Okay.
I went all the way to I completed 95% of a master's degree, and I just always say I wish I didn't really know who I was and what direction I wanted to go in life. And mind you, maybe this is just me, but I'm not like a very single-minded person, right? Like I'm not someone who like can just throw a stake in the ground and be okay, like degree in mathematics, I'll be a math teacher, right? Like I went into college, I didn't really have an idea for my degree. I was like, okay, I'll do communications because I wanted to go to school for audio engineering, mind you, right? Even when I was like 18. But all the private schools I applied to rejected me because of my D plus GPA. So they rejected me. So I went to a state school and they didn't have audio engineering. So I went to communications. I was like, okay, communications is very cool. And then by the time I graduated, I had like a mixed degree of communications, sociology, anthropology, etc. Then I went to grad school to be a teacher. And then by the end of all that, I was like, I don't want to be a teacher. So
You dropped out of the master's program.
oh yeah.
Hey,
Actually,
man.
let me tell you a story about
Hey,
how
I'm gonna drop out too. It's all good.
yeah. What are you in grad school for?
Well, I didn't go to grad school. I was for my bachelor's, so
Oh,
I went
yeah.
to my bachelor's for mechanical engineering.
Yeah. So, well, hey man, that's a solid degree to have.
It was a solid degree.
That's a
Yeah.
solid degree to have. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah. So what's
Don't drop out of it. Don't drop out of that.
Huh?
That's a solid degree to have, man.
Yeah.
Mechanical engineering, that's sick.
I know, but
What?
so I did drop out, but I
Yeah.
ended up like what's it called? Still kind of entering the field through
Mhm.
like luck and stuff.
Heard. Okay.
So I still have a job within that
Copy.
engineering shit, manufacturing.
Yeah.
But I'm able to balance like the music stuff too as well.
Yeah. Well, so you should. That's cool, man. That's very cool. I mean, I just say that because I love like working on my car and stuff. I've always loved like engineering in general. So that's why I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah.
I were you, I'm like, man, I wish I had if I had known. I started working on my car because I couldn't afford to have someone fix it.
Facts.
And I come from a family of like family of mechanics and stuff. So I had the tools, I had people around me.
The thing with
Um,
engineering though is that you think you're hands on. You're not.
You're
not at all. And
Why? Because I'm not fabricating shit.
No.
Like, well, I don't know. Tell me why.
So
Why am I not hands on?
okay, so with engineering,
Yeah.
you essentially
Oh,
design.
you mean the engineers in your program aren't hands on?
No, I'm saying engineers in general, they
Oh,
aren't
right,
hands on because
Yeah.
I guess with engineers in each department, they can only work on it's a whole like legal thing too.
Yeah.
So and liability and stuff.
Mhm.
So with engineering, when you sign on for a job, you can only work in that department. You cannot like you have no overreach to other stuff.
Heard.
You solely focus on just this. Let's say for a car,
All right.
if your whole thing is just the steering wheel, that's only your job.
Oh shit! What the hell? Just engineering a steering wheel?
Well, I'm just saying in
That's-
terms of just this is what your main
Yeah.
focus is
Okay,
on,
okay, yeah.
right?
So you can't branch out. You just engineer that one thing. Like you're
Unless
not
you like switch over to different positions, but it's
Copy.
just very limiting, I think, in that way.
Okay. All right. So I see
um,
that then.
Just because, I mean, if you're like the head engineer, but even then
Mhm.
that comes with responsibility. I
Yeah.
talked to this one engineer. He said he's on call, so even if he's like out
Yeah.
with his family,
Yeah.
always
Yeah,
has to
on
pick up the
call,
phone, and I don't like that either.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
You know.
you get the money, but are you free? I don't know.
That's no. I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. You're right about that. See, I heard mechanical, and I immediately went like mechanic. But yeah, I forgot engineering is a different thing altogether. But hey, man, I mean, yeah, go for it then. Pursue what you want. Because I mean, I wish I had, dude. I just wish I would have known. Like, let me tell you the story of how I ended up dropping out of grad school. Right. So I'm kind of a mess, not in a bad way, but
Wait, so did you? Okay, so this is just kind of like preface to the next
I
question.
mean, I didn't
After
technically
this,
drop out. Like technically, like I just didn't. I just didn't come back.
show up.
I just didn't come back. Like so, like there's no like. I think I filled out some sort of paper to pause
You're
it.
supposed to, yeah.
Yeah, so I paused it, but I didn't
Yeah.
like leave. But I'm not going back.
Did dropping out lead to the music, or was the music
No,
always
no,
kind of
no.
like up in the background?
No, So I'll tell you how this went. Right when I was in high school, I was always like recording myself in my parents' basement on like the shittiest $20 microphone in the world using FL Studio. You know what I'm saying? My music was coming out like shit. And I felt really disheartened because I felt like, I don't know, I just didn't know where to go. And mind you, I'm from Connecticut, from Central Connecticut, which, you know, if you know Connecticut, you know that Central Connecticut is not a place with like a lot of like, it's not a place to be a musician. So I just didn't like, I didn't, aside from freestyling in the park with my friends, like I didn't like have anything. Like I just felt like I was just in a void, right? So when I graduated, I went to college and I was like, all right, I brought some music stuff to college, but I was like, I'm not gonna keep doing this. Let me just like end the pain of trying to pursue something that doesn't seem like it can realistically happen, right? So then freshman year all the way to probably like junior year, I didn't really make any music, and I was like, you know what? Like I was trying to be an adult. Air quotes for those of you that can't. I'm air quoting right now.
We
Be an
gonna get, we,
adult.
we gonna
You
get
know,
camera
yeah,
eventually.
that's all right. It's all right. But you know, air quotes, be an adult. But by the end of college, I realized, oh fuck, I love making music and I can't give it up, and I just keep coming back to it. And I was back in the studio, and I was back doing like shows and back doing showcases and stuff, and back doing like open mics and like all the things, right? Um, and then my life changed a little bit. I moved back home with my family, and that was even better because then I was like, well, I mean, living back with my family, I had more money because I had, you know, I was working the same as I was before, but I wasn't paying rent. So I'm like, this is fucking dope. I was shooting videos and booking shit and just having a great time in the studio all the time and making connections and everything. But mind you, this is still Connecticut, right? So then I moved to Los Angeles because I mean I had started bartending, right? So that's actually kind of part of how I dropped out of grad school because I was teaching and for like 2 or 3 years I was like a tutor and a teacher assistant and all that, and I was teaching adults. Um, and it was just I was just dude, I was just dying under this constant grind of trying to work in a place that didn't really fit me, you know, as a person. Started bartending, left teaching, and then as a bartender, I was making like, you know, enough money to do all these things I wanted. And I was like, shit, I could do this anywhere. I don't have to fucking be in Connecticut. So I moved to Los Angeles to do that because then by that point I had realized like, okay, like I will never half-assing music on the premise of trying to be an adult, air quotes, right? Like is never going to like work for me because I just I love it. I love being on stage. I love being in the studio. I love engineering my shit. I love coming up with new songs. I love talking to artists and being in the scene. I love doing shit like this, like podcasts and everything, right? Like there's no part of me that will ever let it go. So I was like, well, let me take the skills that I have as a bartender, which definitely allows me to make music, right? And then move to Los Angeles, do that, and pursue music.
It also
Full
allows you to
force.
be in the space of clubs.
It does. I listen, honestly, the reason I started bartending is because I was going out all the time. And then one night, I was like, you know what? I love being out in nightlife and stuff, but I don't think I have to be constantly spending money on this. I could definitely do it from the other side of the bar. So that's how I started bartending because I was like, you know what? This is just, I mean, instead of giving the bartenders $100, I can just make the $100, you know. So
Right.
so that's what I do now.
And also, like, on your nights out, you could just go to your bar.
Well,
No.
not the bar that I work at now, but once upon a time, yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day, back in my glory days, yeah. Well, that's a dangerous thing, you know. See, I don't know if any bartenders listen to this, they're all nodding their heads right now because the problem is you go to your bar and you would think, okay, I go to my bar, so I'm drinking for free. But the problem is that you're not just drinking for free, you're going to get a lot more drinks than you would naturally drink for free. So now you've had six mezcal shots in 30 minutes for free. So we've gone from like, cool, I'm getting free drinks to like now I'm blackout drunk at like 8:30 p.m. Like so you got that's why you're going to your own bar is a dangerous proposition. Hold on, sorry, that's my fault.
Oh, good.
I
Yeah.
had to set alarms for everything because I'm kind of forgetful everything. Anyways,
Yeah,
sorry.
don't get
feel
high
free,
off your own
feel free to just
supply.
fucking you know slap me back on track because I'm just
No, that's
just
good.
gap.
Like, I appreciate that you're open and
oh yeah, dude.
yeah. This is kind of the vibe I was looking for. Yeah.
Good man. Good. But anyways, so bartending, that's what I got there. So music, I wouldn't say I was like pushed into music. I would say that I just absolutely can't leave music, and I just had to accept that. And I feel good about that. You know, I don't know if you're an intuition person, but I'm an intuition person. And I know when I feel like I'm not on the right path, and I know when I feel like I am on the right path, and I
Yep.
feel like this is the right path. You know, even though, you know, there are moments where this is a difficult life to live. And not just because pursuing music is hard, but because everything that comes with that lifestyle, like, you know, I'm not working a corporate job, making six figures and getting a $20,000 bonus, you know, at the end of the year for my performance, right? Like, scraping by. You know what I mean? So it's a difficult life, but it's a life that lets me know that like I'm doing the thing that I want, and there's no substitute for that. You know, you'll never be able to. I always think of my life. This is kind of depressing, but I always think of my life in the sense of like, you know, there will be a last day someday, and you never want to look back at your like. I want to be able to die tomorrow and be like, I just tried everything. Like everything I want to do. Like I wasn't living my life scared to do new things and wondering what if. Like I hate wondering what if. Like let me just fucking do it. So that's kind of how I ended up in this position here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love making music, and I took a big leap. And you know, I'm not like living on the streets or anything. You know, begging for $1, hoping that someone books me. But
That's a blessing in
you
itself.
know. Yeah, it is a blessing in itself because, you know, I thought about it when I was like 14. I was like, I should just run away because doesn't it seem like every major artist, it's like they ran away from home to blow up at the age of like 18. So when I was 14, I was like, shit, because you know who I was really into was The Weeknd when I was younger, and he ran away from home at like 17, and like he blew up at like 19 or whatever. And I was like, I gotta run away. I gotta run away from home and go live in New York, you know. And I'm glad I didn't, because I don't think that would have worked out for me.
It's not a life made for everybody.
I don't think it's a life made for me. No, I'm definitely
'Cause
like,
you definitely had the support from the family in order to like pursue it. So I guess
yeah.
for him, maybe he was tied. I don't know his whole.
Well, you know, my family supports me emotionally, but you know, it's not like they're not paying for stuff for me. So there's that.
No,
You know,
but
there's that aspect of
I
it.
guess
But yeah,
for Abel, like who knows? Like his family didn't
For Abel?
approve.
you fan?
Yeah,
You fuck with The Weeknd?
I fuck with the
cool.
Weeknd.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
No, I was asking because you know a lot of people like, you know what's crazy? All right, all right. Brief sidebar, right? Something I've always felt passionate about because I was a big Weeknd fan, right? I mean, I'm still like a fan of like his music. I'm just not like a.
You're saying
super
right now with
fanboy.
his 80s.
Oh, well, I'm not even hating on that. I'm just saying, like, when I was in like high school as a teenager, like I was like, a huge fan,
Yeah.
and now I'm just like a regular appreciator, you know. But when I first started listening to The Weeknd, like 2012, right? Everyone
of
was like
Balloons?
clowning me. Yeah, how, dude? Trilogy, man.
Mhm.
Everything. Damn, you know ball. Huh?
I know music.
But yeah, Trilogy, bro. House of Balloons, Thursday, Echoes of Silence, right? Everyone was like clowning me. This, and mind you, I'm listening to The Weeknd on YouTube on my iPod, right? And
iPod's crazy.
yeah, dude, it was on the high school Wi-Fi on YouTube on my iPod. Couldn't even close the screen of the music would turn off, you know. And people were clowning me like, yo, he's whack. His hair's dumb. His music's all about like drugs and girls, you know. And I was like, no, stop. You don't understand. And then like fast forward like 5 years and everyone's like, oh, this dude's nuts. And I'm like,
I was on this.
well, I'm like, word. Like, oh, so now it's cool, huh? And mind you, I feel like we all go through that, you know. But that was just my one artist story where like that was one person I was definitely a fan of, like off rip. You know, even honestly, I would say him and ASAP Rocky too, because when ASAP Rocky first came out, like a lot of people were like, obviously ASAP Rocky was never like, people I think always fucked with ASAP Rocky. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like The Weeknd where he was kind of like a controversial figure. You know, like ASAP Rocky, everyone just fucked with ASAP Rocky.
Yeah.
You know, but ASAP Rocky was another one where I was like, yeah, like you gotta understand, like Peso, Goldie,
Along
you don't
with
get it, ASAP Mob, ASAP, and people were like, you're corny, shut up. And like fast forward like 4 years and everyone's on this shit. You know,
People just be haters, to be honest.
They really do. You know what I'm saying? It just be like
But
that.
honestly, you're just probably just ahead of the curve. Like you knew what the trend was gonna be.
You
You're
know,
just gonna hop on it.
that's interesting. I've never thought of that. I definitely always thought of myself as like bad at the curve. Like I thought I was just bad at it. I was like, well, I guess I just don't like the shit they like because I'm just bad at it, you know. But maybe I was. Maybe I wasn't.
Maybe reframe that. Yeah, just think of it and like y'all not there yet, but y'all gonna be.
See, that's crazy. I never thought of it like that. I definitely in my head I was just bad at it. I was like, damn, I guess I gotta start listening to shit they listen to, you know. Who was hot back then?
Hot
Shaq
back-
West, maybe
Shaq
fucking
West?
Bobby
Oh.
Shmurda. That was like the end of high school. I don't remember. This is like 10 years ago for me, so I don't fucking remember. But
Does it trip you out to say 10 years?
yeah, it's fucking weird. I know it's bro. Hold on, I'm 27. Oh my goodness. Wait, hold on. Okay, I graduated high school 9 years ago, which is insane. Like I'm not. I mean, we've been talking about high school just because we're talking about like music, and I feel like everyone's like. Usually, when you're graduating high school, I feel like that era of music for everyone defines like
Scientifically proven that
Yeah.
people usually listen to that era
Yeah.
of music for the rest of their lives.
exactly. You know, so we talk
'Cause-
about music,
yeah.
and I am not like a glory days like. Oh my God, I wish I had those days back kind of guy. For me personally, in my life, every year, I just am happy to be in that year, and like I'm not like looking back. But it is weird for me sometimes to think like, holy shit, I graduated from high school 9 years ago, which is crazy because I feel old sometimes in the sense that I feel like I've had to just go through a lot, you know.
Mhm.
But I don't feel old in the sense that like the world is. I'm not like, oh, the world's just changing. It's not what it used to be. Like, I'm always happy to see the world change and stuff. But it is weird. It's a weird feeling. I talk to people sometimes. I mean, I was born in 1998, so
90s, baby.
I talk to people sometimes that are born in 2000s. I'm like, they didn't stop making people in 99. Like, they kept making people after
They
that.
got one more year.
They kept making people after that.
Joey Badass 1999. Good mixtape.
Right?
Oh man. I was gonna say, for your, since you talk about drugs, like how did taking, or do you? Well,
Go ahead, bro. I'm not scared.
okay. I don't want to like kind of compromise it, but anyway. So, is that a past lifestyle, or is this kind of like still currently happening? You're still fighting like these demons.
Yeah, still fighting demons. I mean, so I will say I don't struggle with drug addiction, right? Which I feel like maybe it sounds like in my songs. And people, like even my friends will hear my songs and be like, yo, like, you good? But like I don't like the things I struggle with are more like depression, anxiety, definitely things that just are plague me. Like it's hard. Like I have to actively combat those every day, right? Like even today, like I had a bunch of shit to do earlier. I left my house, I went to the fashion district to do some shit, and then I had to go to like a thing after that. Well, not had to. I mean, I had to go hang out with my friends at a pool party. But still, what I'm saying? Like, but leaving my house, I'm like sweating and shaking with anxiety and shit. And it's ridiculous. And mind you, it's ridiculous because I'm not a nervous person. It's just something that I can't control, right? So I struggle with those, but I don't struggle with like
Stopping, but do you think in a way the drugs is a form of escapism?
well, I don't really like for example, I mean like I talk about coke a lot in my songs. Like last time I did coke, well, let me not snitch on myself, but it's not like I'm
Yeah,
like,
don't-
I
yeah,
didn't
don't
do
do it.
like I didn't do 3 lines before I hopped in the car today. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't even seen the shit in like a while. I mean,
Mhm.
like is it around? Of course. Do the people around me do it naturally? Is it something that I do every now and then?
Because I feel with the party, like the party music that you're like creating, this is kind of what's gonna be present
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. It's more like those. I make
Creating a
songs about
vibe.
moments in my life, but
Right.
I don't like I make songs about the moments in my life where it's like, I'm out with my girl and we're at a club and we're like, passing the key off to go to the bathroom and stuff like that, and we're like, 18 fucking tequila Red Bulls deep and all that. But I'm not making songs about like the moments when I like wake up at 7 a.m. and drink like half a gallon of water and go for a run and like do push-ups. Like, I'm not. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, like, I do that though.
That's some
Like,
Larry
what I'm
June
saying?
shit.
I mean, I don't do it every day, but like, but I'm just saying, like, I do have those moments. Again, I cook breakfast. I'm not making songs about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I do those, and I walk outside. I like this morning it was raining, and I just stood outside in the rain and sipped some coffee and just enjoyed the rain because I love the rain.
Mhm.
Like, and I have, I go for hikes and I stand in the breeze at the top of the mountain and just enjoy the view and the breeze and the sound of the birds. and all
Honestly,
that.
though, like I wouldn't mind if you made a song like that because
I
that on
mean,
it that like that vibe that you're like creating.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I used to make music like that, but the problem is that I get bored of it.
Mm.
So then, you know what I'm saying? So then I like, because I used to, and I just like, it doesn't like, I have never been inspired by music like that, right? But I had those moments because I, as a person, appreciate balance, right? And I'm not like, I know people that stay up the whole night, railing lines and, taking shots and then don't really go to sleep and just wake up and do it again in the morning, and like, that's not like my lifestyle, and then I wouldn't want anyone to live like that, so I would never, people even say to me, people have said like, oh, like people have kids or whatever. They're like, oh, well, your music, what if kids hear it? I'm like, listen, like I was a teenager listening to music like that. And I did do some things, but like, I just think like, I make the music,
Mhm.
right? And is it something I want someone to pursue as a lifestyle? No.
But this is like
But
your
hear
reality.
me now saying this, right? It's
Right.
like, look, like it's about those moments,
Because even then,
Like-
as a kid, when we were back then,
Yeah.
we still had the conscious mind to kind of be like yes or no.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You
It's
gotta take a
not
break,
like an artist fucking pressured me to do it. Like that's a
No,
lame
see,
ass excuse.
I literally just like I always chose because I mean so I mean I started partaking at a very young age, right, like 12, 13. Not in like hard drugs, but just like alcohol,
Yeah, yeah.
cigarettes, weed and stuff, but where's he going with this? Partaking at a young age, but yeah, no, I mean even like honestly, I was way more into like physical fitness as a high schooler, right? Like I would stay up with my friends all night, like drinking, and we'd kill like a whole handle of like vodka or tequila, but then I wake up the next day at 7 a.m. and go for a run in the 15-degree cold, you know, in New England, and then fucking go to work for like 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't like
Were you in a frat?
No.
No?
no,
Okay. I was in a frat.
Nah, what frat?
ZBT.
Nice.
Shout
I
out.
don't fucking know any frats. But no, I was so I played rugby for one semester when I was in college. And yeah, the hazing was crazy. So I did have that experience.
Oh, you did the pledge shit?
Well, you didn't really have to like how do I put this? It was an intramural club.
Okay.
And the house was off campus. So there was not really a lot of regulations on the things that could or couldn't be done. So there was a lot of liquor coming out of plastic bottles.
Yeah, I don't fuck with. I was VP in my frat, so like I did not like fuck with that hazing shit. Cause my brother, he dealt with or he still deals with alcohol abuse. So I just like I saw that and I'm just like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, mind you. So all this drinking I was talking about was happening in like high school because like, my boys and I were just we were just in it. And you know, I mean, something I examine a lot in my life. This is kind of like slightly off topic, but something I examine a lot in my life is alcohol does have a presence. You know, my family, with my friends, in myself. Honestly, that's probably the biggest thing. You know, I mean, I think people probably hear my music in like Molly and Coke and like I don't know poppers or whatever the fuck else I talk about. Like may stand out, but like you know, alcohol is probably the big one. But you know, you gotta learn how to control it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But honestly, for the music that you make, you are creating. This is imagery, obviously. You're creating that vibe. Like I don't blame, let's say, like trap artists for fucking rapping about fucking whipping up shit in their kitchen. You know, like it's just, that was their reality.
It's about those moments, you know. Because the thing is, like music, there are different artists for different vibes, right?
Right.
And I like it. I don't know. In the same way you wear different clothes for work, for sleeping, for working out, for going out with your friends, right? Like I just feel like music, you create the music about those moments. You can't expect someone who designs like athletic wear, right? To like Nike's not going to go and design a suit so you can go from playing basketball with the boys to go to work, right?
That'd be kind of hard though.
But hold on, but you gotta say like so when I you know Nike the thing about music is like that'd be fire. But I know as I was saying, I was like, this would be kind of fire. But but I mean, they do make the golf slacks and everything. Those are kind of tough. But what I was saying was I feel like music is the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like I make music about certain moments, and I love those moments. Don't get me wrong. Like I make music about the moments that I like. You know, where you're partying, you're going crazy. I like those moments, those melancholic moments where you've slipped up and done something that you shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
With you know.
It's also hanging out with the boys. You're just like it's like there's definitely some great memories like tied to just like drinking.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like I make music a lot about like women. Also, you know, most of my songs are two women. You know, like most of my songs are like two
women. Wait,
yes.
are you currently in a relationship?
I'm in a relationship. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2.5 years actually. You know, love Junie, baby girl, Amorcita. I love you.
Are you Hispanic?
No, I just speak a little Spanish. So, you know.
Wait, what are you?
She speaks Spanish.
You're racially ambiguous.
Yeah, I am. But I'm black. Black. You know, I'm black is how I identify. But you know, genetically mixed, black and Italian. So yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. So it's it's cool, but yeah, but I know. I mean, I do speak Spanish though. So I'm like, I've had people that I met, like Latinos that I met, like try to like they will not take the fact that I'm not Latino. Like they won't take no for an answer. Like I'll be talking to people like, no, but where are your parents from? Like where in Spanish? Like where are your grandparents from? Like no, I promise you, like I'm not Latino. Like and not that I wouldn't be happy to be. I'm just like I can't like I'm not gonna tell you that I'm fucking like Puerto Rican. Like like I'm not. I'm sorry. Like
is Puerto Rican something you get a lot?
Yeah, for sure. Puerto Rican, Dominican. Yeah. Well, I'm from the East Coast. You know, like we don't really have like Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, or like majority Latinos out there.
Yeah, the Mexicans that make it that far.
Nah, for real. No, I'm serious. Like
yeah, no,
like Mexicans that hasn't make that far. Like I've never been around so many Mexicans as in LA. Like it's crazy where like I never heard the word "way" back home, but here everything is. I started saying "way."
Hey,
everything, ¿cómo está, way? You know, everything is "way," bro. I'm like, this is crazy.
Like I try to find. So I'm not Mexican. I'm Salvadoran and Ecuadorian. Like when I went to the East Coast, I went to Boston and like New York. I try to find like.
It's not a lot. We have a lot of Peruvians. We have a lot of Peruvians there and some Guatemalans.
Dominicans.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm talking. I mean, like from like South Central America. Like
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah,
have Peruvians, Guatemalans, but definitely not like Mexicans, Salvadorians. You won't see a lot of people there. But yeah, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans for sure. You know. But yeah, I do get that a lot.
Yeah.
Where was it going with this though? Do have a girlfriend? Yes, my girlfriend, my lovely girlfriend. I do write a lot of my songs to her, and I mean, you abstract it. Like I'm also in the same way I don't write songs about like waking up and going for a run. I don't always write songs about
Like
like
specific situations is more just a general.
yeah, and
Yeah, I
sometimes
feel that.
and,
Does that have retain some type of like privacy too?
exactly,
Right.
and I try
But
to be
if usually when I'm songwriting, like I try to throw in like little things that only
yeah.
a certain person will understand. I don't know if you do that.
I do because the thing is too. All right, so I'm like I love to do shit where like I honestly for moments like this where like I'll write things into my songs where like I just hope I get to explain them one day, right? Like I'm not gonna hold you. All right, so
On
I
a
have
Genius interview, like these lyrics.
exactly. Like someone's looking my shit up on like Genius, and the little thing pops up like, oh, this was like
Yeah, yeah.
I, honestly one that comes into my mind, right? That I feel like I need to explain. I'm gonna explain it right here, right? So on my song Motorola, right? And what I said,
Did that come before Nokia or after?
I've
Drake?
recorded it before, but I think I released it like after. But I honestly didn't even think about that connection until right now.
Oh, okay. I was
But
like,
but no, I think I don't even think we're talking about them in the same way. I'm talking about like a stripper bending in half, like a Motorola flip phone. I don't even know what like Nokia. Does he even say Nokia in that song? I don't think he does. Does he? I think he's just like it's
no.
Nokia because he's who's calling my phone.
Who's
But I don't
calling
think it's
my
like a
phone? Yeah,
Nokia.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Nokia's they're like bricks. I don't know.
yeah, they are solid. I
But
would. Do they have Nokia smartphones? I feel like I've seen one, but I don't know.
know.
The fucking idiot. You're asking the wrong guy. But all right, hold on. I had to put this out there
Yeah,
because
explain
it's
them all
killing
over.
me, right?
Okay.
Like I hear my own song and I just so badly want to say it, so I'm gonna say this right now, right? I had that song Motorola, right? I had this lyric, right, where I said, "Swerving down Sunset like I'm still in CT. I miss the Hollywood and Rockstar MVPs," right? And I feel like because I said Sunset and Hollywood, it like sound. I just always wanted to like explain like Hollywood and Rockstar are strip clubs in Connecticut, right?
Mm.
Like, and I said swerving down Sunset like I'm still in CT because some people that I knew, you know,
But Sunset Boulevard's also here.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Swerving down Sunset like I'm still in CT. So like,
but Sunset also in CT.
there's no Sunset.
Wait,
over
I
there.
think you said
No. So swerving down Sunset like I'm still in CT, right? But then Hollywood like I'm still in CT, and then the connection is Connecticut, and then Hollywood and Rockstar MVPs because there's some like headlining strippers over there that were cool. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't like listen. When the day comes, just know I'll be back heavy. All right, in the clubs, in the strip clubs.
When the day
All right?
comes.
I took a hiatus because you know what? Here's the thing,
Oh
right?
yeah, we're actually gonna
Like-
talk about this. I've never been to a strip club.
It's cool. I mean, listen, like I don't remember why I went to one for the first time, but it's very cool. Strippers are always very cool people. That's the thing, right?
I
Like
would
I feel
assume so. Like I feel like they're
always
very
cool.
welcoming.
Oh, they're very cool. Like, and obviously, like part of their job is being like hospitable and stuff. But like, I've known some girls that are like strippers like for a living. Like I know them outside of work. Like they're always like the coolest people in the world. But what makes me upset is that the strip clubs in California don't serve alcohol, right? And I just don't know that I'm comfortable getting a lap dance, drinking in no duels. It just feels.
Okay, are you sure?
I'm yeah. Well, okay, so okay, you can't have a fully nude license and serve alcohol.
Oh,
So there are strip clubs that are like cabarets, but they're not like topless or anything. It's just like bikini girls dancing
and that's
on
just
stage,
to
right?
prevent risk.
I don't know why.
I think so.
I mean, I'd imagine so. Listen, I'm not gonna stand here and say that like there's no like that strip clubs are a safe environment. So I advocate for whatever is the safest option for everyone. But there do exist places where they do serve alcohol in the strip club, and if you want me to shamelessly throw hundreds of dollars onto the floor, I think I should have a drink in my hand at least.
I know. Like, at least let me have a reason for blowing all this
That's what I'm
money.
saying. Like,
Blame
you
it
have
on
to-
the
you gotta feel better about it, you know what I
alcohol.
mean?
Yeah, I got you.
You gotta feel
Like I'm
better
not gonna
about
do
it.
this shit consciously.
Oh, for real. Nah, it's listen, and not because I don't appreciate what the dancers do. It just is like especially now because I'm taking music seriously. Music's an investment. I mean, fuck, I fucking make merch and I like, when you want to do like videos or photo shoots. I mean, shit isn't free. You know what I mean? Like if you want to like, I mean, buy a plugin, run an ad on TikTok, whatever it is you're doing, shit's not free.
You
So
don't crack shit.
what's up?
You don't crack anything.
No, I don't crack stuff. Because I have recorded at just too many studios where they're running cracked plugins, and then they call me like in the middle of the week, like, "Yo, my bad, our fucking DAW fucking crashed because it was cracked, and we lost all the files." And I just like am tired of that shit. So I'm
Oh
just gonna
shit.
fucking pay the $50 and like pay for the plugin because I just hate that shit.
Mm.
Like I'm all about efficiency, and I hate having to like open 5 different files and like go through a bunch of shit and like, oh, it's not loading, so I gotta go and refresh. Like I hate that shit. Like I
Yeah,
just like
it's fair.
let me just fucking pay for the license, $50 one time, mind you. I get it, adds up. But yeah, I just have like a thing about like I don't like when things just get in my way. You know, like if I'm trying to record a song,
And
I don't
especially
want
if
to
it's a
fuck around with
financial
it.
barrier, just it, you know,
What you mean?
like I'm just saying in terms of if you can essentially, let's say for video games, right?
Yeah.
If you could just pay your way to the goal,
Oh yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, I mean for sure. You know what I'm saying? I mean for me, like it's like that with like a crap plugin. Like I'm not gonna like I just don't like fucking around with trying to get the crack plugin working when like realistically I can just I mean, I don't know everyone's financial situation, but just I am blessed enough to be in a spot where like I can pay $50 for a single plugin like twice a year. And mind you, most of the plugins I use, like, because I engineer my own stuff, as I probably said 1,000 fucking times, because I just, you know, but most of the plugins I use are just Ableton inbox, right? Like I'm not like,
Oh, use Ableton?
oh yeah, fuck yeah, I love
Okay.
Ableton. I know, I've heard that Ableton is like maybe not optimal for like recording music,
Yeah, I would say
but
more for like producing. I used Ableton a little bit. I use
yeah,
mainly Logic. Logic's my baby. I've been using this shit for like 10 years.
yeah.
Yeah, but I like the time stretch feature that Ableton has in regards
Yeah,
to like samples. Do you
that's cool.
also produce, or is it just recording?
No, just recording. I would love to produce. Honestly, my goal is to produce EDM because I'm not like produce instrumentals, but produce like well, I guess there are instrumentals, but like produce like EDM, like techno, tech house, melodic house because I want to remix my own shit.
Is there any
And
reason why
then
you haven't yet, or at least
yeah,
tried
I
one?
just haven't really like I'm just learning other stuff. It's like a skill you have to learn. You know, what I mean, it's like you know, if you picture like you know an RPG, like you have skill points, you get assigned to certain things. And right now, my skill points are
Mhm.
assigned to like just other shit. You know, what I mean, like I can't hop into it, and like I get the concepts of producing a song, but it's like it always sounds simple, right? Like you go and you lay out, you know, for you, like, let's say we're recording like house, right? Like in theory, it's like, all right, let's say I'm gonna go for 126 BPMs because you know house can be like in a range, but I'm
Mhm.
usually gonna go for faster. So 126, right? We lay out a 4/4 kick. You know, we've got the you know the hats in between, like, you know what I'm saying, like whatever, you know what I'm saying, right? We lay that shit out. We lay like a bass line out, and like I don't know, I just go through all that and I try to like side chain shit so we get like the nice little pump on the bass line and all
Mhm.
that. And by the time I'm done with it, it just doesn't sound good to me. And I'm like, I just can't. So like I have to just save that for a time in my life when I just like
It's
have
layering. You have to like,
yeah,
no.
whatever it is, I have to just save it for a different time because right now I'm just focused on other shit.
Like
You
I'll
know,
show
like
you
I
some
can't.
beats I made it like before. Like I've been producing for like 10 years on
Sure.
top of like the songwriting.
Yeah,
And honestly, it's gonna sound everything's gonna sound stock until you make it like have
yeah,
texture and stuff like that.
yeah. Well, even then, like I just like I get the concept and like I love like EQing and like saturation, like whatever everything, just like widening the stereo field, everything like that. And it's just about like it works for me when I'm doing vocal engineering, right, for myself.
Right.
But by the time that I get done like trying to produce a track, I'm like tired and I hate music. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just save this for a different time in my life, like because honestly, like I would love to produce EDM and be a DJ. Like I would love to be a DJ. I mean, I love being like a rapper and everything, you know, like that's great. But I would just love to be a DJ and
Do you
like
DJ currently?
do I DJ currently?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
no, I wouldn't be saying I'd love to be a DJ. If
No,
I
but I
was
was just
DJing.
saying like because
No,
I
no,
mean
I have. I'm familiar with like you know the engineering side of things
because what
as
you're
you fucking
doing
saying.
in
So
terms of like recording and engineering vocals, you're
yeah,
just doing that live essentially.
I know, but like, and so I had like I've had 2 sets of DJ controllers in my life, you know.
Like whole EQ, just knobs. It's just mirrored.
I know, but I don't know. I'd practice for hours like beat matching and shit, and it was like cool, but I just like it just I would be doing that and it would be taking away from the time I could spend on like my music, you know? So it's like it's just it's like I will say one of my biggest downfalls. I think about this a lot. Like I think about a lot about like my life and like the things I do, and I knew that one of my weaknesses is that I can start to apply my energy too broadly, right? And so I have a lot of energy, but I do tend to apply it too broadly and get overwhelmed. So I just
It's kind of like that circle thing, right? Where you can go into any which path, but you never make it to your destination because you're so outstretched.
yeah, exactly. You
So,
know, and
so
it's
you
like
you,
you just
re-
gotta
you realize that though, so you're willing to
yeah,
sacrifice at least for now to kind
yeah.
of get to your main goal, which is the rapping.
Oh yeah, because there'll come a day. I mean, fuck, like fucking Tiesto and Calvin Harris are like 50. All right, so I can do that at 50. And like I said, I keep an open mind. And I'm confident that I'm not gonna like lose a touch that I have now at this age or anything. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna focus on what I really want to focus on now, and then there will come a day, when it's time for me to produce and DJ. And when that day comes, I'll have a great time with it. But like, I just gotta focus on my like rap career right now, because otherwise I'll just be all over the place doing two things. And instead of making progress with this, I'll be fucking producing tracks that aren't going anywhere. And it's like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I feel that. Like I have that problem. So Renee, my name, it comes from Renaissance man,
Mhm.
and that's just being like a jack of all trades. Like I've always kind of wanted to do everything in terms of like, so I'm a DJ, I
Mm.
produce, I work with like
That's
other
true. You
artists.
are a DJ, huh?
Yeah,
This whole time I'm like talking to you, I fucking forgot that I met you like DJing. Like,
yeah. Uh, so I've like DJ'd, I've produced, I songwrite, I engineer my own like
mm,
vocals and
yeah.
engineer other people's like in terms of like music, I feel like I'm a well-rounded person.
Mhm.
And I don't want to be essentially great at everything. I don't want to be like a master or at
Yeah.
everything, but I want to generally have input on whatever I eventually hand over to somebody else
Yeah.
for them to do to me. Some things are annoying though in terms of like with like the DJing thing.
Yeah.
Like when I go to clubs, I low key
Yeah. You hear it.
I be hearing like
Uh,
the mixes. I kind of be judging. I try
listen,
not to.
as a live performer and engineer, I hear this shit too. Like if the mix is muddy because the DJ is like not actively listening to the space, I'm like, bro, you could drop those mids down a little bit, maybe like 300.
I know you know how the
Just drop
people
them down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
you know how the
but
people
it's
fucking
like,
do the phone thing with their forehead. Be like,
yeah.
drop them, drop the mids.
That's what it is. And I try to not be like that, but like it does get like that. Or if I hear
Just being
like
critical is
it is,
yeah.
and like you just or like you hear like a shitty transition, and like I'm not even a DJ, so like I really shouldn't be like a dickhead about it, but sometimes I just can't help but hear it. Because the thing is like, because you naturally, when you make music, I feel like you naturally pick up on like tempos and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like you get used to like, especially in hip hop. I mean, I shouldn't, but any genre where you're used to doing music live and you're used to being in that, like you just pick up on the tempo, you know what's coming. There's certain patterns in music, and then when the music betrays that pattern, right? Like it's less enjoyable for everyone, and it just gives me a headache. I'm like, but I just try to like let it go and like not
Mhm.
focus on it, but it does happen
You
every
know.
now and
What's it called? I I appreciate like the technical DJing where they like do flip that on the head and they do it in an interesting way. But I
then.
think the overall point of like the whole DJing is just to feel, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because you could be like doing all these fucking transitions, like being
Mhm.
all fucking and like wait, like building up the drop in a way
Yeah.
that's fucking takes for. There's some DJs on TikTok that be with the drop, they be taking fucking forever to like drop it, and I'm just
Dude,
like, dude,
let me
but
tell you what I hate.
you lost the crowd.
I just think like if you're driving in your car and your headphones or whatever, and I think fucking trap and rhythm are really, those genres.
Yeah.
Like really, they love to do like double, triple, quadruple drops, rhythm especially. And I just think like, okay, if I'm in my car, like sure, but if I'm like, I just don't want to hear it live.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I was at EDC like a few years ago, and I saw Excision. Okay, this is gonna sound. This is not me saying anything bad, but I was watching Excision, and there's like flames fucking shooting everywhere, and there's a crowd of like 100,000 people.
I've been
It's
on a
insane.
show. It's
And it's
fucking
like, dude, it's
amazing.
crazy and it's fire. But like, we're getting hit with like quadruple drops, and I'm like, just drop the beat. I just want to feel the bass, and it's like I get that it's supposed to be that feeling of like that feeling of like
Section,
restraint, and
yeah.
yeah, like it's like, and like what do they call it, like something gratitude, like not suspended, but you know what I'm saying, where it's like, gratification, delayed gratification. Like I understand that's the point of a
It's
drop,
like,
but it's just like
fucking
sometimes
do
it's
it.
like
It's way too long.
exactly, it's like how many times can I hear like a random vocal sample thrown in? And mind you, this is like literally only because this happened one time during Excision. Say he's not the only one by any means to do that. I
Uh-huh.
love Excision, but I was like, dude, like this is killing me. And yeah, I hear a lot of DJs do that shit, especially don't let it be in a nightclub. Because here's the thing, like I love raves, huge raver, but clubs or raves are different. And I feel like if I go to see a certain artist, I'll have more patience for that sort of shit.
Yeah.
But if I'm in a nightclub, please just keep the beat going. Like I don't really want to hear a quadruple drop just to go into like another top 40 song remixed with a little more bass in it. Like I don't need that, you know. And that,
Mhm.
how to be honest, I don't even know. I don't know how we started talking about this,
And we started talking
but
about because like you were like saying you want to get into DJing.
oh yeah. My bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Went to see my boy. Shout out Nick, Strange Hotels. Went to see him earlier. We were actually talking about because he's a DJ,
Okay.
and we were talking. He was DJing at the Roosevelt Hotel earlier today, and we were talking about. I was like behind the decks with him. We were talking about like transitions. That he was saying that's definitely more about the vibe than like the
Yeah.
technicalities, you know.
It's taste.
But I had to say that I did get a little saucy. So you found me going on in circles about nothing, you know. Because I had a couple beers, couple shots.
You're all good, man.
But yeah, man. So anyways, so DJing, not right now. Rapping for sure. I know you had some more questions for me though. My bad. I know. I'll just yeah. So
It's
let
all
me
good.
know.
Like this podcast is just made for yapping.
Mm.
You know, like it's rare that I usually get to talk to like another artist about just other shit besides music. You know.
Yeah.
But if we are to get into like music, like how do you kind of like strengthen your like how do you kind of push your genre or like yourself in terms of the music creation?
You know, I something I try to do is I try to like something I love doing is working with other artists, right? Because I love being forced out of my comfort zone, right? Like I want to work on different beats. If you leave me to my own devices, I will choose the same kind of beats and do the same kind of stuff. And not that I'm like not trying to be innovative, right? It's just like I have a comfort zone. We all have a comfort zone, right? And when we're just making it, like I'll make the music I like. But then if over the course of 6 months I make 20 songs in my comfort zone and it's just music I just like and I made it for fun, then by the end of it I have 20 songs that sound the fucking same.
Mm-hmm.
So I love
Collaboration.
working with other artists, you know, or like trying to find like I will oftentimes I'll search because I mean I just get my beats from like online, you know. I don't really like have anyone I work with directly or anything, you know. Which I love to do. Like if someone's like, oh, like let me send you a beat, I'm like, fuck yeah, send me the beat, you know. There are some beats that are more challenging for me. Obviously, like I have a very like electronic sound, so if I get like a boom bap beat, it can be like, you know, I have to like choose how to go into that and if I want to how I want to go about it. But I always just try to like choose new beats, and I also try to do things like I like to when I start recording a song, right? I like to sort of I'll think about it. I'll put some words down and I'll think about the vibe I'm going for and I'll think about the picture I'm trying to paint, right? And then I take that picture and I try to sort of instead of like starting off like, it's late night, 9 p.m. out here, bottle in hand again. Like I try to you know what I'm saying? Like we're starting from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I try to drop myself in the middle of that, right? And so it's like, been outside for 3 hours, all these drugs and alcohol giving me powers, you know. Like we try to like, you know, it's like you try to like drop yourself in the middle of it. And not that that's the most innovative thing in the world, but that's how I try to keep myself like creating something different. And then I also I try to focus on this can be tough. This next thing is tough because it's like a double-edged sword. I try to say things and do things in a way that feel good to hear and say as opposed to being technically correct, right? When it comes to lyrics. But that can be challenging because like, you know, you might find yourself saying the same shit over and over again. But as far as like advancing the genre, I kind of try to go for different vibes and blend different things, you know, like that's on TV screen, you know. I kind of like it was slower, a beat that was different than I usually go for. And I kind of used vocal like mixing techniques that I kind of had not used before. So a lot of times I will be effect heavy on like my main vocals, you know, and then have my like layers be a bit simpler just to add like emphasis, right? But then like my main vocals would be kind of like psychedelic and like super wet and you know like a lot of delay and reverb and like you know EQ it and add some distortion so there's like the vocals pop through, but then like I kind of want there to be like a strong presence of delay on the main vocals, right? Whereas for a TV screen I kind of like I left the mains pretty, there was like pitch correct and a little bit of like reverb and kept it pretty plain. Sorry, I know like people are I don't know.
Yeah, no. Do you use Antares?
No, I use Wavestune.
Okay.
Yeah, it was significantly cheaper. So I was like Wavestune because
Yeah,
Wavestune's
I was
cool.
thinking about buying it. And I was just like, it's a lot of fucking
Wavestune?
No,
Or
Antares.
Antares?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Wavestune is it's fire. I mean, like I think there's obviously differences, right? But Wavestune works really well with what I do, and I worry that I just go overboard using the same plugins every time, but like just with different, mixing them to different levels, I just get the same of like I get the sounds that I want, and they're not always the same. Like TV screen, for example. Like I was saying, like I went more effect heavy in the background, and then the main vocals I kept like simpler, not dry, but like a bit drier. Honestly, like less pitch correct even than I usually put, which was hard for me because I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like you hate to hear yourself like go off pitch and stuff, but
That's what
you know,
Melodyne's
I've never figured out Melodyne.
for.
But I wanted to keep it raw because honestly, so Party Next Door being one of my big influences, something he does a lot in his mixes is you'll hear his natural voice, and he's a good singer. But every now and then he'll go off off pitch a little bit, and I was like, well, if Party Next Door can do it,
Mhm.
I'll allow it to happen to myself, and I think it creates for a better sound, so that's what I do.
Because you don't want to like overly process either. Because if you're gonna be performing these songs live,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I've gone through that, where it's like, well, your vocals are processed, and I mean, you've heard me talk about this live because I have the like effects pedal I use and everything. Um, but yeah, I mean, you go to do your song live, and I mean, I can't sing, I can't. There's certain things you can't do, like even like, sometimes when I like rap, I'll add like a little texture to my voice or whatever. But like the texture I can add to my voice naturally is not gonna match the saturation I put on there. You know what I mean? So it does get challenging, but yeah, I'm trying to find that balance. And honestly, one of the like the thing a major point of feedback I got on my recent projects has been people have been saying my vocals are overprocessed, which it was a conscious choice, mind you. But I do make music to be consumed. So I'm trying to keep in mind like, well, how can I do better? How can I get a sound that I like, but people like also? And how can I make it cleaner? How can I make it more relatable, more digestible? So that's sort of what I do to advance myself as I try to.
and that's the struggle right now.
It is, it is a struggle. But it's fun. I like it. I come to like it. I've reached a point in music where, for one thing, I have enough music out where I feel like I can focus a lot on marketing and performing and stuff without having to always worry about putting out like a better track. Because for a lot of my life, I mean, I started making music at age 13, right? Maybe like 14 or 12. I don't fucking know, somewhere around that time. And I spent a lot of my life trying to be better in terms of like grasping the concept of making music. And now I feel like I'm at a place where I have I can make music, right? Like I have no doubt. Like you can put me in a studio, on a stage, on someone's voice memo, and I can make music. Like I'm not worried about that. Now it's more about like, you know, package it, sell it, market it, and make it cleaner. Do something different. Make it eye catching. Make it interesting. Make it captivating. Like it's not just about making the music. It's about because I mean like, you look at someone like, you have people that make their money being like part of a cover band, right? And that's great. Good for them. They're musicians. They make music. But I want to be captivating, interesting, the original, and that's what I focus on. Exactly. I'm not out here looking just because I can make music. I'm not trying to fucking karaoke, Will Smith. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to fucking like do something different,
Yeah.
So that's where I found myself at. That was the very long version of saying that's how I advanced myself. Was like focusing on like being interesting, captivating, like what can I do that's gonna get a response, and also be me at the same time, because I don't really like. There's no point in making music trying to be someone else, I just see what I can do, and people respond well to me, and people like. I generally get positive response to my music and like the things I do, I mean, and not everyone likes every song, which is fine. Honestly, I love when I put out like a project and different people tell me like I'll have one person say they liked song A and B and thought C and D were like not good and didn't sound great, and then someone else is like, well, C and D were the best ones, and then song A and B just weren't it. I'm like, oh, cool. Two people like two different things and thought that different songs were the best songs. So that means I'm just hitting different spots. That's cool. So that's what I do. That's all on that.
I think also too, so this is gonna be my last question.
There you go, man.
Being authentic
Mm.
in terms of like not cosplaying as anybody else,
Yep.
it's gonna get a lot easier because for people who do portray like an image, you have to live with that image every single day.
Yeah.
And like for you who wants to be that person from the jump, do you ever like think that maybe you do have to compromise your image maybe in the future, or like how would you like kind of deal with that?
I I feel like I've always, when I started making music, right? I wanted to have an image, right? When I was younger, I wanted to be this like, I don't know. I always kind of wanted to be like like the mysterious like superstar, um, or like the mysterious like reclusive like natural mystic conscious rapper, or like the super cool like all black wearing sunglasses wearing like sad boy in the corner, right? Um, but now I've kind of hit a point where like even as a person, I know who I am, and honestly, you can be all those things, But I don't really worry about that because like I mean I make music about things I really do and really feel, and then I also like I don't know when I go out in the world and I like go on a stage or like I make a social media post or like promoting my music or whatever, like I'm still like me, like I tend to like I tend to make posts that have like captions that are kind of like sarcastic or like I don't know like playful or whatever because that's just how I am as a person. So I don't know. I used to worry a lot about like, oh well, if you're gonna sell yourself, you have to have like a super concrete, streamlined image so you can be like a digestible product.
But
Um,
that's what it is, a product.
yeah, exactly. And like now, I just don't really feel like
Like you don't
that.
want to
And
be
like,
something that's old,
exactly. And I just kind of, I I think especially, I mean, being a bartender has been great for me as a musician because you get so used to being in front of people and being a teacher, which I was before that too, right? You get so used to being in front of people and you're doing a thing to make money, but you're also still yourself. And like I think that honestly helped fully round out who I am as an artist because like I can go on stage and do a thing and like do the thing, but then like I'm still like in between the songs and off the stage and everything. Like I'm still just me. Like I don't know. I don't really worry about it. And also I just am the person like I go out in the world and like I do feel like me. Like I feel like Jay Walker. Like I don't know. I don't feel like I'm pretending. Like I don't feel like I'm pretending to be like a I don't when I make a song, I don't feel like I have to like pretend to be like a star or anything. Like I just like feel like an artist and I feel like I'm good at what I do. And I feel like I'm having fun, and I feel like I'm confident in it and that's it. And I don't have to like pretend to like be a certain thing. So I think that's cool. And I've always, to cap that off, something I've always thought about is like I definitely always wished that my whole life I wish that I just make it, right? Like I wish I just get discovered at the age of like 18, whatever, and get signed to a record deal, whatever that entails, right? People be like, oh, record deals. Look, if you offered me $500,000 at the age of 18 in exchange for complete control of my masters, I would have said yes.
Crazy.
But anyways, I feel like all of that, right, is kind of like I don't know, like I don't have to like feel that necessarily just because like I just feel like I am who I am now, like I just feel good about all of it. So it's nice. I've been through a lot with everything, music and life wise, but the result of that is, you just kind of, I just feel good about who I am, not a whole lot of like weak points left because all been tested.
Hardship.
Yeah, man.
All
That's
right,
it.
man. Well, thank you for joining me, and thank y'all for joining us on another episode of Water Break. This has been Renee. This has been my guest.
Hey, Jay Walker.
Where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, mostly Instagram. My TikTok is just nonsense. It's just at the letter J .walk.rr. And then every streaming platform is just the letter J space walk RR. That's it. That's me. You can look at my latest song, TV Screen, Jay Walker TV Screen. You'll find it. All the platforms. All right. Peace. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for your time. Peace.
Yeah, said she wanna leave with me. Girl, this my party. See me on a TV screen, and I seen her eyes get starry. She asked me if it's clean. I did it myself, don't worry. Now she better fall asleep, so I pulled the sheets up softly.